Coming up, we have your July 2022 Las Vegas real estate market update.
Hey everyone, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kristen.
We are the Thomas Group with Real Broker, your local Las Vegas and Henderson Realtors. Today, bringing you your July 2022 real estate market update from Crystal's shopping center here on the Strip in Las Vegas. If you like high fashion, high priced items, like this is the place to go. I mean, in terms of like watches, clothes, fine art. We're actually filming right by a really good art gallery here called the Elena Bulletova Art Gallery. If you
really
like
cool pop art.
Yeah, a lot of pop art, contemporary artwork. So if you like that sort of thing, definitely check that out. But we thought we'd do our market update from here today.
Yeah, I think often for those of you that already live in Las Vegas, or even if you visit a lot, you might not even come to the Strip, but there are some cool little hidden gems just in this location that it's really fun to take family or just go on a little trip, yourself out for the day. And there's free valet parking here. So there's 3 things we wanted to tell you about that are happening here currently. Why don't you tell them about the most hard to find one, Steve?
Yeah, so this one, I didn't even know that this was here, and we'd been living here already, I think like 4 or 5 years, until one of my friends from England came over and told me about it, and I was like, wow, this sounds really interesting. So it's called a carb, and it's actually in the top of the Louis Vuitton store in Crystals. And a carb is an Egyptian.
It's an Egyptian word that means pure water.
Yeah, and the art. I knew I was going to forget his name.
James Turrell.
Thank you. James Turrell is the artist, I guess, that created this installation, and it's all about light and space.
Yeah, exploring light and space. It's an experiential type of an exhibit, and it's super exclusive.
Yeah.
You've got to call ahead and book tickets, and I think we called and they were booking 2 weeks out.
Yeah, obviously in July right now, and you won't see this advertised anywhere, you guys. For a little niche audience, if you like, but you should definitely check that out. Next one is
the Van Gogh exhibit that's here. There were actually 2 of these that were in town, and when Steve's family was in town, I took them and my baby, and we didn't really know what to expect, but it was so neat. They put the art to music, and it moves around the entire room, and it's a really, really neat experience, so definitely recommend that.
Now, when I saw the price of that originally,
it's not cheap.
Yeah, I thought, wow, that's pretty pricey. So is it worth it? Because I didn't go, unfortunately. I didn't have a chance to go.
I think it's worth it. I don't think it will be for everyone, but for someone that appreciates art and music, it brought a tear to my eye. I just thought it was so beautiful. I mean, I cry easily these days. Now I'm a mom, but but I thought it was really beautiful. So definitely check that out. And 2 more things really quick. There's a Barbie exhibit here because this is a high fashion mall. They're displaying like Barbie throughout the years, and there's also Princess Diana exhibit coming as well that will be featuring like all of her clothing and all of her fashion too. So some really cool things that you can come see yourself, or if you have family visiting, to check out.
Yeah, and when you win the lottery, you can come do some shopping in here as well.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so shall we get into the real estate market update?
Yeah, so before we get into the numbers, I just want to tease a few things that we're going to be talking about today. Foreclosures. I know I've had people calling me asking about those.
Price decreases,
hearing that a lot. And Steve's got a little trick for you. If you are a seller, how you can help
or a buyer.
Yeah, exactly. How you can overcome these higher interest rates so that everybody wins.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at the statistics, starting with our single family homes. The median sales price last month was $480,000. This is the first time now in, I don't know, even 2 years that probably since COVID, that we've seen a price decrease. It was only down a little bit. It's down 0.4% from the previous month and up 21.5% from the same time last year.
So yeah, just kind of piggybacking off the price decreases. Don't look at that and think that homes are just dropping all of a sudden.
Yeah, the bubbles popped. And
basically what's happening is that the inflated prices that we were able to get sellers and that buyers were paying a few months ago, you can't get that anymore because there's just not the demand that there was. Inventory is increasing month on month, And just as an example, one of our listings right now, and this will kind of put it into perspective for you, we put it on the market when the market was hot, at 440,000. But I told the sellers that I feel like at that time, fair market value of the property was 425. However, with the demand, with the lack of inventory in their community, they could push that and possibly get 440 and have the buyers waive the appraisal contingencies and we get a solid buyer. And we did. And we went into escrow and we were just about to close and something happened with the buyer and they cancelled. And then 3 days later, the interest rates went through the roof. And then the market just basically died. And long story short, we weren't then able to get 440. However, we brought the price down to 425 and we went under contract immediately. All right, so we just got kicked out of Crystal's. I guess it's too high end and don't allow a couple of scrubbers like us in there. So anyway, we've come outside and we shouldn't even publicize them because you kicked us out. But anyway, it's a great shopping center and we'll roast out here in the July heat just for you guys. So let's carry on with the numbers.
All right, I think we were at units sold. There were 2,668 single-family homes sold last month, down 8.2% from the previous month and down 24.7% from the same time last year. So we are seeing the demand really take that hit from the high interest rates. I mean, I believe. Yeah,
and depending when you're watching this video, we may have already had an increase from the Federal Reserve, which is slated to be another maybe 3/4 of a point to a whole point, possibly a whole point. Which again, guys, will have a knock-on effect through mortgage interest rates as well. So if the rates do keep increasing and the inventory keeps increasing, that in the demand, the same pace it has, we're going to be seeing very much a softening in the market, and then it will be interesting to see where prices have to settle to be worthwhile for the buyers in that market.
Yeah, I agree. And something interesting that I wanted to bring up, and this is a good segue into it, is if you watch our videos, you heard us talking about the institutional investors, the iBuyers. It's interesting to follow what they do because they were still going hard in April, May, and then all of a sudden they've taken a big step back as well.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience and probably yours as well, 10%.
Yeah, 10 to 15%, whereas before they were buying, like Steve was talking about, they would put in an offer ahead of what the current pricing should be. Now they'll buy your house, but they want it for a deal.
If they were offering 115,000 before, they're only going to offer you 100 grand now.
And I saw a Reddit thread too, like that people that are tracking their offers from Open Door Offer Pad. It's happened all around the country. I mean, they're just really taking a step back. So, that is interesting to.
Well, the market's shifting as well towards being more of a buyer's market.
Yeah.
So, they have leverage.
Absolutely.
Just like any buyers do in this market, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yes, of course. And did want to mention the pending sales because that's going to give us a little peek into what we're going to see next month. Pending sales are down 15% from the previous month. I don't have the year over year, but it's a whole different market, so it doesn't even matter. So we're going to expect when we see you again next month that our units sold is down again. Yeah. So very interesting. Our inventory is going up. It's up 61% from the previous month.
Wow.
And up 134% from the same time last year. Yeah, but we still only have 2.2 months of inventory, so it still is heavily favoring the seller. But actually, I wouldn't say heavily.
It's shifting.
It's changing, and depending on your market and where you are, it really is changing. Yeah. It really is. And Steve, you had some interesting tidbit, right?
If you're shopping in today's market, obviously interest rates are a lot higher than they were. Well, sellers are also getting a little bit nervous that have got their home on the market now, that maybe had their home on the market through the crazy times and just got a little bit aggressive with their price, weren't able to secure a buyer. Well, now we're able to kind of create a solution that works for everybody, because a lot of the home sellers these days have actually got tons of equity because of the value of properties being increasing year over year. Lots of people have got equity in their home, which means that they've got cash. Now, if they've got cash in their home, they could give you a little bit of it. Now, why would they give you a little bit of their cash? Well, you tell them, listen, I would buy your house if the interest rates were the same as what they were last year. And they'll say, well, that's impossible. Interest rates are, way higher than that.
Right.
Well, they're going to give you some money from the sale of their home, and what they're going to do is they're going to buy the rate down with the lender. And what buying the rate down basically means is you could say, for example, take a mortgage, an interest rate of 5%, give them some money, and now it drops to 4%.
Yeah, and that's a huge chunk of savings over the course of the loan, and it's a win-win for everyone.
Everybody, because you don't then pay the highest interest rates. Seller gets to sell their home. Sellers have to give concessions now. Like the ones that haven't quite understood that are going to be left behind, and they're going to have a very sore taste in their mouth. I think my shoes are melting on this floor.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. We're standing on a metal bridge right now.
I definitely feel like I'm getting tan.
Yeah. So anyway, sellers are having to offer concessions, and although it is still technically a seller's market, tables are turning and buyers have a lot more leverage. So if you need help with stuff like this, of course, we'd absolutely love to help you.
Yeah. All right, really quick, let's take a look at the condo and townhome numbers. The median sales price was $280,000, down again slightly, or not again, but down similar to the single family, 1.8%, still up almost 30% from last year. The number of sales were down 13.5% from the previous month, down 22% from the same time last year. Following those same trends, the market is slowing down, and we are seeing that. Availability jumped up massively, 68.1% up from the previous month, and up 133% from the same time last year.
Another 60% again with townhomes, did you say? And condos?
Yep,
wow.
Yep.
Same.
Pretty much the same as single family. And we are seeing our months of inventory at 1.8 months. So like we said, it is still favoring the seller, but we are rapidly seeing that changing. And again, for the pending sales, looking like it's going to be down again for next month. So that is your condo and townhomes, following very similarly along.
Easy for you to say.
Along with your single family. A few other really quick things before we fry up here that I did want to mention, because I've had a lot of people reaching out to me about foreclosures, and they called and they said, Kristen, I'm ready for the foreclosures. Got a few things, interesting things for those clients. So the first half of 2022, the state of Nevada was actually ranked 7th out of all the states for the total number of foreclosures. So that's pretty high, right? Sounds a little bit worrying, but actually the city of Las Vegas, the metro area, didn't rank on the top 10 list of large cities for the number of foreclosures. So I thought that was really an interesting fact.
Yeah, we'll shoot up a graph for you. That's actually showing the amount of short sales as well, because a short sale is, a foreclosure will often follow a short sale. It's a good indicator because they're very much aligned, but there's still such a few amount. Like I think last time I checked, there was like 25 short sales available in the whole of the valley, but you'll be able to see that it's been increasing month on month. We'll keep an eye on that, of course, and update you and let you know what's going on as the year progresses.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to talk about with those foreclosures is right now the homes that are being foreclosed upon today, that foreclosure was initiated over 900 days ago.
Wow.
So just to put into perspective, foreclosures that might be commencing now, we're not going to see those for a long time, and banks really are handling this a lot different than 2008. They are trying to keep people in their homes. People have equity in their homes. So it's not to say that foreclosures won't be increasing, because they will, but personally do not think that we're going to be seeing a flooding of the market of them.
All right, so thank you for watching our market update. If you have any questions and you're thinking about buying or selling in this market, we offer free, no hassle consultations. You can find all of our information on the thomasgrouplv.com. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we really appreciate it when you do so. That way you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in Las Vegas, as well as learn a little bit about what it's like living here. But we'll see you again soon.